A lot of people are stressed about money right now. In fact, 37% of people aged between 25 and 34 are stressed about money, and 28% of people aged between 35 and 44 are also stressed about money. And when I look at my demographics here on the channel, that means that 65% of the 73% majority of people aged between 25 and 44 that watch this channel are possibly stressed about money. And so in this video, I want to give you an exercise that you can do that will help you gain a little bit of clarity, a little bit of, I guess, direction in terms of what you can do, the things that are within the realm of your control if you are indeed stressed about money. So I honestly don't think that we need to rehash the reasons why we're here. They're very, very evident. Food prices increasing, fuel prices increasing, energy prices increasing, rampant inflation, wages not keeping up with inflation. We've got property prices still going up even right now. I think if you're aged between 25 and 44, which is the main demographic on this channel, then you wouldn't be blamed if you felt as though you're fighting an unwinnable battle, a battle that you're bound to lose because the odds feel like they're stacked against you. And in this video, what I want to do is give you some tools, an exercise that you can use that will hopefully give you a little bit of clarity around how you can take charge of the situation that you find yourself in right now. And this exercise is actually transferable across different aspects of life. It's not just about your money. It could be transferred to business. It could be transferred to career. It could be transferred to fitness. It could be transferred to anything. This is something that I did with my business coach about 3.5 weeks ago. So I know that it's going to help. But before we get into the exercise and the main points, have a listen to this right here. All right, this week we have a special matching offer courtesy of Wealthify. If you're interested in investing in the markets at the moment, Wealthify will match the first £50 you invest with them. Simply open a Wealthify account and invest at least £50. Then after 12 months of investing, they will pay £50 directly into your Wealthify plan. This offer is only open to new customers opening an ISA, general investment account, personal pension, or junior ISA. The offer closes at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, 31st of July. Plans must be funded by October 31st, 2022. There is a link to the full terms and conditions below. Remember, when investing, your capital is at risk. Wealthify are authorized and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. So in preparation for this video, I came across a survey by Champion Health, who I'm doing some work with in the corporate space right now. And they ran a survey early this year looking at the causes of stress outside of the workplace. This is the data right here. And what you're going to notice here is that one of the biggest contributors to stress outside of the workplace for normal people is financial pressure, financial worries, being stressed about money. And that is behind personal relationships. Now, we know that there is a very close link between mental health, so stress, anxiety, depression, and your financial well-being or your financial habits, how you interact with money, how you feel about money. But if you are stressed right now, one of the first things we have to do is to establish what is the cause of your stress. So I'm going to use an overlay here, which I'm going to pop up. So 2 points. The first one is we need to understand what is causing your stress. So looking back at the data, we know that relationships is a cause of stress. Parenting can be a cause of stress. You may be having a little hangovers around COVID-19, still ill health. It could be a number of things. It could be work. We need to understand what the cause of stress is. Now, for this exercise specifically, if you ascertain that the cause of your stress is money related, then what we then need to ask is, why is that a cause of stress? And try to be very specific around pinpointing what element of your finances is causing you stress, essentially. Now, there could be a number of reasons why you could be stressed from a financial point of view. You could be struggling with debt. You could potentially be not making enough money, so you're living paycheck to paycheck. The money's not going far enough. You could be stressed about getting on the poverty ladder, not being able to meet your deposit. We need specificity here, so we need to understand what exactly is causing your stress and why you're stressed. So let's just say, for example, right, you're living paycheck to paycheck, okay? So essentially what that means is your money isn't going far enough, and that could be because, well, your mortgage might have gone up because of the interest rate rises over the last 5 to 6 months, right? Your energy prices have gone up, the food prices have gone up, your fuel prices have gone up. So those might be squeezing your disposable income. If that is the problem, then we need to start thinking about, right, so what are the factors, what are the things that we can actually do from a practical standpoint to improve that position of not having your money go far enough? Now, let me explain. So this here, we've got two circles. In this inner circle, what we want to focus on is all the things that we can control. Okay, so these are the things that we have influence over, things that we can change as people, as individuals. We can take action points here. On the outside, the bigger circle is all about the things that you cannot control. You have no influence over them. We've already mentioned a number of those items. So inflation is going to be one of them. Food prices will be one of them, right? We've also got fuel prices that will be another contributing factor on there. You've got Bank of England rate increase. That is going to be an issue in there as well. You've got fuel prices. The idea is that you note down all of the things that are external factors that you cannot control. You put those into the outer circle on this graph. Now, focusing on the inner circle, this is about the things that you can control. So thinking about, again, living paycheck to paycheck, what are the things that you could potentially change that within your control that might be able to give you a better outlook or fix this issue for you? For example, you might decide, actually, you know what? We need additional income streams, okay? It could be that we need a tighter budget. It could be that we could sell items, for example, okay? A number of things. And the idea is, within this inner circle, focusing on all the things that you control and coming up with as many examples or as many things that you can do to help better that situation. Now, ideally, what you'll have here, if you really, really be creative and be really, really honest with yourself, you might come up with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even maybe 4 or 5 things. The idea is that you should have a list of solid things that you can take. Now, the more you have, the better. You've got to think creatively again in order to have that. But what you then want to do is you want to prioritize maybe the top 3 things that you can do immediately. And again, drilling down to specificity. So let me just give you an example, right? Income streams. If you know that you need to earn more money, well, what kind of things can you do to generate a new income stream? Are you good at copywriting? Are you good at photography? Are you good at videography? Okay, these are all things that you could potentially do. Are you good at editing? Do you have a particular skill where you could coach people? Could you dog walk, for example? Okay, the idea is you then list down under each of the 3 things that you prioritize. So this is number 1 in this instance. And then you think rationally, practically about the things that you could do, things that you could go and start tomorrow to help you generate an additional income stream. Let's pick another one. Let's just say, budget, for example, okay? And budgeting is a really fundamental, basic, I guess, principle in this conversation because it is your in and out of money. And the best way to approach this is to look at your bank statements and look at your own finances as though your mate is asking you for help and asking you for your opinion on how they spend their money. And if you would say to your friend, look, mate, you've got a Netflix here, you're not using it, or a prime example, you've got a gym membership and the gym sees your bank more than it sees you, then that's got to go. You've got to be really honest, really, really brutal with yourself. So you may be thinking about, budgeting being the second thing there, and that could be cutting out unnecessary spending, right? It could be a number of things that come into that item. The third one you might pick, we've got 3 in here just for this example, selling items. Like, apologies for my writing on here, guys. Selling items. What kind of things could you sell? Have you got tech lying around the house? Have you got clothes lying around the house? Have you got unwanted items that you don't need? Family memorabilia that no longer have that emotional attachment? Maybe a coin collection or collection of things that you've been keeping hold of for a number of years that have a little bit of value. Selling things. The idea is you write down 3 key things that you can work upon. And the idea is if you do have more than 3 things, you might have 6 or 7 things, you focus on those top 3, you work through those. And once you've done those, and you know that you can say to yourself that you've done a good job trying to execute as much of your vision and your ideas as possible on that, you then select another 3 and work through those 3 as well. This exercise really helped me from a business point of view in terms of clarity. Oftentimes, when you're in a situation, it can be very difficult to see the wood through the trees. For me, this gave me a little bit of clarity, and I'm sure that this will help you as well. If you did do this exercise, I would love to know how you got on, because these kind of things, yeah, they take a little bit of time. You've got to be honest with yourself. But if you do take the time, they can be really rewarding. And I'd love to know if any of you did find it beneficial. On the topic of basically helping manage this money stress that you may be feeling right now, there are a couple of other things that I just want to mention. First and foremost, it's really important that you find yourself in an environment where you're able to access information, or at least have an accountability buddy in some way, shape, or form. Now, that could be a person, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, but ideally you want to be speaking to someone who is okay with you sharing and maybe going through a similar thing to you, where you can bounce ideas off each other and just have conversations. It's amazing how much better you feel about something when you actually talk about it and it's not just in your head. Just knowing that you're not in it alone is really important. It can be hard to do sometimes, but you know, one thing you can do is, I've got obviously this YouTube channel, I've got Instagram, I've got my Discord group. If you ever need help, you can always ask me questions within there as well. On that topic of help, I am offering this Sunday a Zoom Google Meet session where people can just ask any questions that they might have if they are struggling right now with the cost of living crisis. I was with a technician on Saturday morning, and she was talking about her energy prices going up to £383 a month. And she was like, I don't know how I'm going to cope. I'm probably going to go into debt. That's really prompted this video, that conversation on Saturday, because it really hit home for me that people are struggling. So if you do want to attend that Zoom/Google Meets session on Sunday evening, it will probably be between 7 or 8 p.m. All you need to do is drop me a DM on Instagram with your email address, and I will send out the invites at the back end of this week. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are stressed about money, please do the exercise. Let me know how you get on. But I wish you all the best of luck. I will see you later on this week, most likely.